record. Recording in progress. Veronica, can you hear us all right?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm driving, so I'm going back home.
No, you're good. And I'm gonna record this. Can you share my, or wait a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I always get so confused. So this is something we do on Power Hour every day. We have our big team Power Hour at 10:30 Central Time every day, Monday through Saturday. And these are some of the things that we do to help us grow our social media. So I wanted to kind of go over it for my team as well. So every day we add 10 new friends a day, and that might seem like a lot, but you really need that to be able to constantly have new people in your feed. And you don't want to just add anyone. You want to add people like realtors, mortgage lenders, you want to tax professionals, you know, people with a big social media presence. You definitely want to go on there and check out their page a little bit, because there's a lot of pages that have been taken over by scammers these days. And another thing we do is we post a happy birthday GIF on a friend's wall. Is it a GIF or GIF? I always say GIF. On a friend's wall and message them privately. An example of this would be, "Hi Sarah, happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing day." And I put a Z after that. I don't know why. Oh goodness. And then I send positive messages to 10 friends. It doesn't have to be 10 friends. I just do this so that I can keep my presence up, because I mainly do this on social media. Of course, this can be done outside of social media. So what we usually do is tell the people that are working outside of social media, take 10 of your friends on your contact list and go ahead and send them positive messages. And if you know someone's birthdays that day, go ahead and send them a birthday message, because so many people, they really enjoy this, and it gets them to like you, you know, and look at your stuff. Like every time you put a GIF on their wall, they see your stuff after that. And then another thing we've been doing is add 5 groups a day, and then add a positive message in the groups. Like this is what I do. I just add the groups, and then I go in and I go to my web browser and I look up positive quotes or inspirational quotes, and then I put it in the groups. And that typically goes, and people start messaging and commenting on it. And you want to add groups that you're interested in. You don't want to just add groups that, you know, just anything. I'm real big on I believe in medical, like marijuana and stuff like that. So I go and I follow a bunch of people, like a bunch of groups like that, to learn about the new things that have come out or anything that might help people, especially people with cancer and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm really interested in. And then I follow groups with positive messages, because mindset is a really big thing for me whenever I was going through a lot of like trauma. And then if I don't keep my mindset on a positive wave, I can very quickly go back into the old traumas, the old things that used to happen. So, and when you think about like positive messages and stuff like that, I usually get a good positive message too. Like you can go on YouTube, you can go anywhere and find like a good little video, like a little 5-minute and 10-minute video. I tend to send that out to people, especially if I see that they've been having a hard time on social media. Like a lot of people will post their personal stuff, and they will be so happy if you just send them like a good little inspirational quote or a video or anything like that. So, and then post on your stories daily. I know that this is a hard thing sometimes, especially when you just can't think of anything else to post. What I do is I literally go into my old posts, like on Instagram, way down, and I'll reshare them if I can't think of new things to post. Or I'll just go on Angela's Facebook, or I'll just go on, you know, my upline's Facebook, because they have a lot. Hold on. Will you send that to me? Yeah, I'll send it to you, Angela. No problem. I was going to send it. I was actually post it in the group. And then go live. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So people are going to get to know you through your lives. And these are things that I do every day just because this is how I've been able to engage and able to, build a relationship with people, because people get to know me more whenever I'm sharing stuff. And it doesn't have to be anything big. You just share whatever you want to share. Obviously, if you don't want to share your whole entire life, you definitely shouldn't. And let me see. Oh, says, okay, and then spend 10 minutes before you post and after you post commenting on friends' posts. So this is so important, because whenever, a lot of times we'll just throw a post up and think, oh, well, the algorithm, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. No, I've learned even on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, every social media, you must comment before you post on other people's stuff. And it doesn't matter who it is, as long as it's someone you like to follow. And then you, after you post, you comment on them too, because a lot more people are showing your post if you do that. Another thing I didn't put on here is hashtags. Hashtags are so important with anywhere you post. You only want to use hashtags whatever you're using your post for. Like if you're doing a credit post, you do credit hashtags, but if you're doing like a family post, put hashtag family, hashtag, I love them, just different things like that. And you could literally look up any hashtag online. I wouldn't even suggest getting an app, because you pay money for them, and you literally can type in credit hashtags and like 10 websites will show up with a bunch of different credit hashtags. So make sure not to just post about credit. If people only see you post about credit, they will think you're a scammer. I've had a few of my business partners will just post credit, credit, credit. And what happens is then the people are like, oh, they're just, they're just scammers. That's all they care about. So don't do that. I used to do that when I first started because I didn't know any better, and it really didn't help me one bit. And then the ninth thing is share anything about your life that you feel comfortable sharing. So people want to know you. People are nosy, especially since 2020. Everyone can agree that during 2020, we got stuck in our houses. We weren't able to go anywhere. And so we became very, very nosy about other people's lives. I've always been nosy, but I just, dress it up and say I'm curious. But honestly, people want to know about your life. So I know that for Veronica, she has another business on top of it. And so what I would do is I would just stick to, if you're going to put a bunch of like credit stuff or a bunch of your insurance, because I know that you do insurance, you could put it in your stories, because it's better to put the stuff like that. And I have actually shared like testimonials, and I'm going to go ahead and drop some actual agent testimonials too, because that's good for building your team. So if other people see people having success, they're going to want to join the team too. So I think that's all I really wanted to go over today to grow your social media. I thought that it was really important, especially if you're working on social media altogether, and if you don't have a big social media presence, which I did not at first at all have any kind of presence on social media. And now I'm almost to 1,000 on TikTok, which is amazing. So I just want you guys to be able to have the success with this business. In order to have success, you have to be posting on a daily basis. You have to be, talking about it, because if people don't know you're doing it, they're not going to come to you if they need help, like especially with their credit. So does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
My thing's the social media. Like I do so good, like for 2-3 days, posting and on my stores, and then like I stop and then I start again. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to be more consistent.
So what helped me with that, and sometimes I'm not consistent, like like to be totally honest with you guys, like especially this last week, I deal with like a somewhat hormonal issue. I've been dealing with it for the last 6 months before I start like my monthly time. I know that y'all didn't want to hear that, but it causes me to not want to post. I don't want to do anything. It's almost like a depression thing. So that's why I thought that it's so important. You can go back there in your back office, or anything that I share, you could share too. But don't be down on yourself, girl. Cause like if you don't do it for like 2 or 3 days, then just keep on, like, start doing it again. What I've noticed is the more consistent I am, the more people reach out to me, for sure. But we shouldn't dwell on the times that we're not consistent. You know what I'm saying? So like you said it yourself, just be consistent. And what helps me is I'll put a little timer on my phone, like a little thing that pops up, a reminder that says you better post on social media or you're going to disappear. Because that's literally what it is. You disappear. So honestly, what I can tell you about that is if you stop posting for a few days, when I said to comment on friends' posts, make sure you do that very first. Like, so if you're not commenting on, or if you're not posting, make sure you go back on there and you comment on people's posts. That way they can see your post when you do start posting again. That might help you a lot.
Okay. And then also, I'm more okay. Facebook, I already got it down. You know, I mean, I had Facebook since forever. Instagram, I just barely created my Instagram a couple of years ago. But like business wise, you know, I only had just family and friends. You know, but it is so hard to grow and to get followers in Instagram. Do you have any tips on that?
You are so right. It is a way harder to gain followers on Instagram than it is on Facebook. And what I've learned about Instagram is Instagram has turned into a platform about reels. So I've noticed whenever I'm posting reels every day, people will start to follow me more. And that's just how it is. Like posting reels, pretty much if you do any kind of video or anything like that, they like that, and make sure you hashtag them. That's what I've noticed. And then of course, everything you do post it to your stories, and make sure that you are like public on there and not just private, because you can be private on Instagram as well. And that makes it to where no one can see your post, if you get what I'm saying. So those are my only kind of suggestions on Instagram, what I've saw, what I've learned.
Okay, yeah, I had it in private for a while, and then my daughter was like, "Mom, you have it in private. That's why nobody wants to follow you." So
So yeah,
she kind of helped me on that area, and I put it, you know, I put it in public and stuff. And yeah, I have noticed the reels, and I'm like, I need to get more knowledge on how you know how to work the reels and how to do the videos. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
That's okay, girl, because you know what? I learned, it took me a while to learn all that stuff. And if you want to, one day I can come over there or whatever, and we can work on it together if you'd like. Just let me know when a good time is for you, and we'll just kind of try to work it out, because I do believe in like helping as much as I can. So if you need help with that, just let me know. I'll be more than happy. But it is a little scary at first to put yourself out there, but you got this, girl. You definitely do. Angela, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say that Facebook is kind of moving in that way too, just like Instagram. Well, Instagram and Facebook are actually ran by the same people, so their platforms are actually really identical, except for Instagram is just harder to get more followers. So my suggestion is to go and follow any real estate agent, broker, lender, tax professional, and then usually you'll see that they'll start adding you. You'll just start seeing them follow you because they have seen you on somebody else's. And so realtors are really good about following back. But the video is the biggest thing, and I'm still getting good about it too. I'll have a couple good weeks, and then I'm like, oh man, something comes up and I miss my timeline, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, and then I didn't post it off and didn't even do it, and then I don't do it the next day either. So they say it takes 30 days to create a habit. So if you could stick in there for at least 30 days, after that it should be easy peasy.
Right. And then my TikToks and my reels, what I do is I recycle my TikToks and I use them on my reels. And then on my, sometimes I'll take my reels and I'll recycle it. And I'll actually drop in the group what I use to take my little TikTok and my reels logo off. Believe it or not, Instagram has a little logo on it too. And I actually use a website free because if it's free, it's for me. So I'll share that. I'll drop that in the group for everybody. And yeah, like what Angela said, was saying, that you need to go follow realtors. Make sure the people have been active within the last week though. That was one of my big things. Like lately, I just went and unfollowed like almost freaking 700 people because I realized I followed a bunch of people that were inactive and it really wasn't helping me at all. So, and then one last thing about your reels or your TikToks, what I do when I'm having a good day and I'm ready to just record, I'll record like 15 to 30 freaking TikToks and I'll leave it in my phone. That way, if I'm not feeling up to it, I can just drop those on a constant basis. And they don't have to be long. They can be, matter of fact, Instagram is pushing out 5-second ones and 7-second ones. So they're really not going to have to be long or anything you have to put a lot of work into. Is there
Thank you
anything else? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, thank you for the tips.
You're welcome, love. If there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and cut this off. My brain just stopped. I was like, nope. Girl, y'all both know I got kids. Y'all both know. So thank you for showing up, guys. And again, this is going to be recorded, so I can send you the recording. And I'm going to drop it in the group as well. And then I'm going to drop this in the group as well too. So if no one else has any more question, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Good? Okay.
Bye.
Bye.